You know what's crazy? Most people think starting over means you've failed. But I want to tell you something. Starting over is one of the most powerful, liberating moments of your life. Because when everything falls apart, when you're left standing with nothing, that's when you finally discover what's real, what's inside you, what you were always meant to become. I'm Tony Robbins, and today I want to show you that losing everything isn't the end. It's the beginning of your comeback story. Rock bottom is not a curse. It's a calling. When life strips everything away, when your plans crumble, your identity cracks, and your heart feels heavy, that's not the universe punishing you, that's life inviting you to awaken. Because let's be honest, most people don't change when things are comfortable. We change when comfort dies. Rock bottom is a mirror. It shows you what's real and what's been holding you back. It's the place where you stop pretending and start becoming. You don't discover strength on top of the mountain. You find it when you fall and when you're gasping, when you have no choice but to rise. That's where power is born. And I want you to understand this falling apart doesn't mean failure. It means you've reached the point where your old life can no longer contain your potential. You are not buried. You've been planted. Every seed grows in darkness before it breaks through into light. So when you hit bottom, don't curse the darkness. Grow through it, because the foundation you build from pain will carry a strength that success alone could never teach you. The greatest stories of transformation were written from the lowest points, and yours can be one of them. Your past, it's not your identity, it's your training. Stop dragging it into your future like a chain. What happened to you, what you did, what broke, what ended, those things don't define who you are, they refine who you are. Every heartbreak taught you compassion. Every mistake gave you wisdom. Every failure revealed truth. You are not your pain. You're the person who survived it. But most people stay stuck because they confuse memory with destiny. They think if they failed once, they'll fail again. That's a lie. You've evolved. You're not the same person who made those choices. So stop replaying the past like it's the only song you know. Your power is not behind you. It's in this moment, in what you choose next. The past should be your teacher, not your home. Learn from it, extract the meaning, and let it go. If you keep carrying yesterday, your hands will never be free to build tomorrow. Forgive yourself. Forgive the people who hurt you. Then take what you've learned and move forward with intention. The moment you decide your past no longer controls your future, that's the moment you reclaim your life. Pain is the universe's most honest teacher. It strips away illusion, ego, and excuses. It gets your attention in a way comfort never can. Pain asks one question, are you ready to grow? You see, most people try to run from pain, numb it, hide from it, or pretend it doesn't exist. But here's the truth. What you resist persists. When you bury pain, it festers. When you face it, it transforms. Pain is feedback. It's life's signal that something in your strategy, mindset, or direction needs to evolve. When you treat it as punishment, you become a victim. When you treat it as guidance, you become unstoppable. Every time you feel pain, you're being given a choice to shrink back or break through. The people you admire most didn't avoid pain. They used it. They turned their heartbreak into compassion, their failure into wisdom, their struggle into strength. Pain is the doorway to power. It forges character, deepens purpose, and sharpens focus. When you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Everything changes. The moment you embrace pain as your personal trainer, the moment you realize it's shaping you for something greater, you step into mastery. So don't hide from your pain. Lean into it. Let it refine you, not define you. Because inside that struggle is the very breakthrough you've been waiting for. When everything around you feels uncertain, you need something unshakable, and that's vision. Without vision, you drift. You react instead of create. You end up living by default instead of by design. When you lose everything, clarity becomes your compass. You can rebuild your life from nothing if you know where you're going. But here's the secret: your vision has to be bigger than your fear. It has to excite you more than your past hurts you. Most people don't lack ability, they lack direction. They let circumstances define their choices instead of letting their choices define their circumstances. So decide what you want, not what's convenient, not what's safe, But what sets your soul on fire? See it, feel it, speak it as if it already exists. When your vision is clear, your mind finds a way. The human spirit is wired to follow clarity. Even in chaos, vision gives meaning to the pain. It turns confusion into creation. You don't need to know every step. You just need to know your destination. Because clarity creates energy. The clearer your why, the stronger your how becomes. So write it down, picture it, own it. Your vision is the blueprint of your comeback. And when you hold it with conviction, nothing can stop you. Every new beginning demands the courage to let go. You can't step into your future while clinging to the wreckage of your past. Too many people try to rebuild their lives while holding on to what broke them. They replay the same stories, the same regrets, the same what ifs. But here's the truth. You can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Every failure, every betrayal, every closed door, it was preparing you for this moment. When you hold on to what was, you block what could be. You have to release the weight of yesterday to rise into tomorrow. Forgiveness isn't about excusing others. It's about freeing yourself. Let go of the anger, the guilt, the identity that says, this is who I am because of what happened. No, that's who you were. The moment you choose to release it, you reclaim your power. Your past doesn't define you. Your decision does. Let go of the version of yourself that settled, that doubted, that feared. Let go of the stories that say you're not enough. Because every ending is an invitation to begin again. And when you finally let go, you don't lose. You make space for something far greater to enter. You make room for growth, peace, and alignment. You can't start a new chapter if you keep reading the old one. So close that door, thank it for the lesson, and walk boldly into your next one. Now that you've released the past, it's time to reclaim your identity. When life breaks you down, it's easy to forget who you are, to see yourself through the lens of loss, failure, or rejection. But your identity is not what happened to you. It's what you decide in this moment. Every single day, you are either reinforcing who you were or reinventing who you're becoming. You get to choose. Your identity is your foundation. It determines how you think, feel, and act. If you see yourself as weak, you'll settle for less. If you see yourself as capable, powerful, unstoppable, you'll find a way to rise. You've got to shift from I can't to I will. From I'm broken to I'm rebuilding. From I've lost everything to I'm creating something better. The story you tell yourself becomes the life you live. So rewrite it. Speak it with emotion. Embody it with action. Because once you believe something long enough, your brain starts to find evidence to make it true. You are not a victim. You are the author. Every new decision rewires your destiny. Stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Become the kind of person who doesn't need rescuing. Stand tall. Remember who you are. You were built to rise from ashes, to turn breakdowns into breakthroughs, and to show the world what's possible when someone refuses to give up. The moment you decide to take ownership of your life, everything changes. Most people spend their lives waiting for permission, for clarity, for the right time, but that time never comes. Because ownership isn't about waiting, it's about acting. You are the CEO of your life. Every result you have, your health, your relationships, your finances, your happiness, is a reflection of what you've chosen to accept or ignore. The second you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or your past, you take back your power. Responsibility is not a burden, it's liberation. When you realize you're the source, not the victim, you stop reacting and start creating. That's when momentum begins. You can't control everything, but you can always control your response. You can choose focus over fear, growth over comfort, action over excuses. When you own your story, you transform it. Ownership turns chaos into clarity because you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do about it? That single shift is where transformation begins. No one's coming to save you, but you don't need saving. You've always had the power to shift, to adapt, to rise. This is your life, no one else's. Stop living in reaction and start living with intention. The moment you decide to own it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, is the moment you become unstoppable. Once you take ownership, the next step is building momentum. Momentum is the secret force of transformation. It doesn't care where you start, only that you start. It's the compounding effect of consistent action. People overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year of focused effort. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step. Because once you move, even a little, life starts responding. The universe rewards action, not hesitation. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence builds momentum. But you must protect it. Guard it like your most valuable asset. Avoid the distractions that steal your focus. Ignore the noise that tells you you're not ready. Momentum dies in indecision. It thrives in motion. Even when you don't feel like it,